So this is where we will be collecting the soil today. Everyone will have an opportunity. There's 6 different little trowels. So if we can just have like groups, one person can come claim a trowel, put as put a few scoops of dirt as much as we feel comfortable, and then pass it to someone else who's the next up.
Today we remember King Johnson. Mr. Johnson was lynched, and for no other reason than because he dared to argue with the white man and assert his own autonomy.
My name is James Yamakawa. I am the founder of the Waikamako Truth and Reconciliation Initiative. Matthew Williams was lynched by a mob of over 1,000 white members of the Salisbury community. They kidnapped him, threw him out of that second-story window to the mob below. They drug him, they beat him, they stabbed him, they took him to the courthouse, and they hung him up in the tree over there. The tree's no longer there. After he was dead, they dragged his body through the black neighborhoods of Salisbury, and then they poured 50 gallons of gasoline and set him on fire. So this was as brutal an act of terrorism as one can imagine. And it was that. It was an act of terrorism. It was designed to terrorize the entire black community of Salisbury and Waikamako, and to tell them that you cannot step out of line or this will happen to you.
I would say because there's a hesitance to talk about the pain and to figure out where we come from, like this didn't just manifest out of nowhere. This came from history, and we have to talk about lynchings because lynchings are still happening. My name is Amber Green. I am the executive director of Phoenix Youth Project, and we are in Salisbury, Maryland. We're throwing away our black men and our black girls here. And the culture out here is that we can do it because no one's stopping us. And what we're seeing is that the way the system has been built on the Eastern Shore is built to keep black people down. And that goes from our healthcare, that goes from our criminal justice system, our education system. The Eastern Shore has created this bubble to where, yeah, the United States have progressed, but the Eastern Shore is holding on to this 1960s, 1950s type of lifestyle. And they're calling it, this is our culture. It's not.
William Burns is an 18-year-old man, and I use that term loosely. He was still a child in many regards, who came to Allegheny County from where we know now in Virginia, and landed here to start a new life. William Burns is the name that was used while he lived in this area, and Robert Hughes is the name that he was born with.
I'm Karen Hughes White. I'm one of the directors and co-founders of the Afro-American Historical Association of Fauquier County. This is my sister,
Angela Davidson. I'm on the board of directors here, and I work here at the museum. I'm very proud to be working with my sister.
We are descendants of Robert Hughes, who was lynched in Cumberland County, Maryland.
Robert would be our great uncle.
To be pulled from the jail cell and then to be mocked and with no sense of humanity or anything else, but to do this type of killing is very painful, it's hurtful.
And I never thought that someone I never met, the death of someone I never met could have that type of internal pull on you. I can't imagine what Selena, his sister, must have gone through going to claim his body in Cumberland. I can't imagine that. I just cannot imagine the hurt and the pain they must have felt.
So they were here, they pulled him out. There was somewhere around 1,000 people here, and they beat him and took turns. So the first group would beat him to death. And as they got tired in their adrenaline, they would pull them out and bring another group in to continue to beat him. And we believe that he was shot. They still continued to beat him.
Well, I personally feel that in order for us to have any type of healing from our history, we have to first acknowledge it. We have to learn it and we have to acknowledge it. And it's not only the African Americans acknowledge it, but America needs to acknowledge it. America needs to stand accountable for its children, period.
A song full of the faith that the present has brought.